Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about single phase induction motor. In previous two lectures, we have studied about the working principle, operation and construction of three-phase induction motor. So now, first of all, the question arises is what is the difference between three-phase induction motor and single-phase induction motor? So basically, construction of both motor are same, but it has different stator. Okay, we will see the difference in construction, but before moving on to the construction, here is some applications of single phase induction motor. It is most common type of motor used in commercial, domestic and industrial application. This motor are simple in construction, reliable, easy to repair and cheaper in cost. So these are advantages of single phase induction motor. Now we will discuss about the working principle of single phase induction motor. Or this question is also asked as why single phase motor are not self-starting. As we have discussed in three-phase induction motor are self-starting. So we will see this in detail. So first of all, construction of single phase motor is polyphase, similar to the polyphase. Polyphase means three-phase induction motor, except its stator is provided with single phase winding. So in compared to the three-phase induction motor, its stator has three-phase winding, but here in single-phase motor, stator is provided with single-phase winding. A centrifugal switch is used in some type of motor for self-starting purposes. As we have discussed that a single-phase induction motor is not self-starting, so for that purpose, that switch is used in some of that induction motor for self-starting purpose. Now, single phase induction motor consists of single phase winding mounted on stator and skull case winding rotor. So rotor is same as three phase induction motor, or we can say that we can replace that rotor with the rotor used in single phase induction motor. So single phase induction motor has single phase winding on stator. So see here in the figure, you can see that stator winding has supplied a single phase voltage and single phase winding is used here. Rotor is same as three phase induction motor. Now rotor bars are short circuited by end rings, same as in three phase induction motor. So now when stator is energized with single phase voltage, it produces alternating flux and this flux cuts the rotor conductors. But here during positive half cycle, flux induces voltage in rotor and resulting current produces the torque. So rotor tends to rotate in one direction. These are the same sentences that we have discussed in the working principle of three-phase induction motor. Now, but here during the negative half cycle, torque produced tends to rotate in opposite direction. So we can say that rotor is subject to rapid flux reversals and due to that inertia, it can't move. So this type of torque is known as pulsating torque, and that is why single phase induction motor is not self-starting. See here you have to keep in mind here in during the positive half cycle of input, the voltage in rotor and resulting current produces torque. But same way during the negative half cycle, torque produce tends to rotate that rotor conductors in opposite direction. So we can say that rotor is subject to rapid flux reversals and due to that inertia, it cannot move. So this type of torque is also known as pulsating torque. Okay. So it is very important difference between three-phase induction motor and single-phase induction motor. Here two torques are produced, one in positive half cycle and another in negative half cycle. Now we'll see the construction of single phase induction motor. So its construction is similar to the three-phase induction motor, except its stator is provided a single-phase winding. Okay, and starting mechanism like switch, and rotor construction is similar to the or identical to the three-phase Scholl cage induction motor. So it consists of a laminated core with skewed slots on periphery. So this is same as three-phase induction motor. Okay. So single-phase rotor is interchangeable with three-phase rotor. Okay. Now we'll see the stator construction in detail. See here. So its core construction is similar to the stator core of three-phase induction motor. Stator slots are distributed uniformly and double layer windings are used. So simple single layer winding wound produce no rotating magnetic field and no starting torque. See here, compare with the three-phase induction motor, there are three windings and rotating magnetic field produced in three-phase induction motor. But here, single-phase winding are used. A single layer winding would produce no rotating magnetic field and due to that, we cannot generate starting torque. So it is necessary to modify or split stator winding into two parts, such as running or main winding and starting or auxiliary winding, each replaced by 90 on stator to make motor self-starting. So stator has this type of two winding, main winding, and this is auxiliary winding. So here we can divide that single phase winding into two sections, main winding and auxiliary winding, and these two windings are exactly 90-degree placed. Why we have to modify that winding into two parts? Because we want to generate that starting torque. Okay, so I repeat some important points that I have told in this lecture. So single phase induction motor has same rotor width compared to three phase induction motor. Here in stator there is a single phase winding, but here in construction of stator in single phase induction motor, that winding is divided in two parts, main winding and auxiliary winding. Okay, in each this both winding placed at 90-degree to make the motor self starting. So now the important point which will be used in single phase induction motor operation is double field revolving theory. Now we know that this theory is based on the fact that alternating magnetic field, or we can say that phi equals to phi and cos omega t, can be resolved into two rotating magnetic field or two flux, each of equal magnitude but rotating in opposite direction with synchronous speed. So we have discussed that in positive half cycle there it will produce torque, but in negative half cycle it will produce torque in reverse direction. So here two fluxes or two torque produced. So the net torque in motor is sum of these two torque due to each of two magnetic field. To prove this, stator current of single phase induction motor results in instantaneous flux given by phi and cos omega t. Now we consider the two rotating magnetic fluxes, namely phi 1 and phi 2, each of magnitude phi m by 2 and rotating in opposite direction with angular velocity omega. So two fluxes starting at t equal to 0 from x axis. Now see here. So after time t from t equal to 0 to after t second, vector would have rotated to an angle omega t. So if flux vectors are resolved into their x and y components, so we have two components, x component and y component. X component is 0.5 phi m cos omega t plus 0.5 phi m cos omega t is phi m cos omega t. But y component is 0.5 m phi m sin omega t minus 0.5 phi m sin omega t. So this will cancel each other. So y component is 0. So we can say that resultant flux is addition of these two. Here y component is 0, but x component is phi m cos omega t. So phi is equals to under root phi m cos omega t square is equal to phi m cos omega t. This is the resultant flux produced in single phase induction motor. See here from this figure, you can realize that this is the phi 1, this is phi 2, both have angle omega t. If this flux is in this direction, so this is in opposite direction. Okay, this is the y component, x component. Okay. So resultant flux is phi equals to phi m cos omega t along x axis. This is the resultant flux. So this alternating field can be represented by rotating field, two rotating field having half its amplitude and rotating at synchronous speed in opposite direction. See here, this is the phi equals to phi m is the resultant flux. This phi 1 and this phi 2, two opposite fluxes. Okay, and this is in y direction it is 0, and in x direction it is phi m cos omega t, magnitude is phi m. So this type of two fluxes are present here. That's why it is also known as double field revolving theory. Now we'll discuss operation of this single phase induction motor according to the double field revolving theory. But here two part is there. When rotor is at standstill, stationary position, and second part is, we will see second part when rotor is in running condition. So see here, it is easy to understand after that double field revolving theory. Consider the case when stator is given single phase supply and rotor is standstill. So alternating flux produced by stator winding can be represented by two fluxes phi 1 and phi 2. Each has the value 0.5 phi m. Each rotating at synchronous speed ns in opposite direction. So flux phi 1 rotates in clockwise, so phi 2 rotates in anti-clockwise direction. So we can say that phi 1 result in torque 1 in clockwise direction and flux phi 2 will result in torque T2 in counterclockwise direction. See here from the figure we can see that net torque developed is 0. Okay, see here, this is the two fluxes, angle omega t. This is total flux. This is the graph between torque and slip. Okay, this is net torque, but this is torque 1 due to phi 1 and this is torque T2 due to phi 2. Both these are in opposite direction. Okay. Now we will see the second case when rotor is in running position. See here, when rotor is started by spinning or by some auxiliary circuit in clockwise direction, so the flux rotating in clockwise direction is forward flux, phi, and the rotating in counterclockwise direction is backward flux, phi b. Now we have to see that due to this forward flux, how we can rotate the single phase induction rotor. See here, slip in forward direction ns minus n upon ns, where ns is synchronous speed, n is rotor speed in direction of forward flux. Now the rotor rotates opposite direction to the rotation of backward flux. Then slip with respect to backward flux is in opposite direction. That's why we are considering minus n in place of this n. So here ns plus n upon ns. So here this is ns plus n upon ns. Okay. So finally we can write this as 2ns minus n plus n upon s. So 2ns by ns minus ns plus n upon ns equals to 2 minus ns minus n upon s. So SB equals to 2 minus S. What is this S? So this S is nothing but this S in forward direction, NS minus N upon NS. Okay. So from this, you can say that for forward flux, slip is S. And for a backward flux, slip is 2 minus S, greater than the unity. So torque at slip less than unity is greater than torque at slip more than unity. So resultant torque will be in direction of forward flux. So motor once started will develop a net torque in direction in which it has been started. So this is the working of single phase induction motor according to two cases in double field revolving theory, when rotor is standstill and when rotor is in running state. Okay. So this is all about construction, operation of single phase induction motor and double field revolving theory. In next lecture, we will see the different types of single phase induction motor according to the starting methods. Thank you.